All right, we do be live on the YouTubes. As people are rolling in, if you're watching the replay, I will actually jump into this probably in like 2 minutes. Just give people time to roll in. In the meantime, we've got the coffee. We've got the track loaded up. We're gonna be working on here, and as you can see, there's a lot of stuff already in this, and we're gonna play it through start to finish in just a second. And basically the goal of this live stream is I kind of want to get this instrumental like finished, because this instrumental has some work we've got to hash out, and then I want to get vocals done tomorrow. I want to get vocals cut tomorrow on this. So everything on here vocally. What's up, Jaron? Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, drop a comment if you are here watching. Would love to know who's here. Andrew, things are going great. I'm so dang excited to be working on this production live, because this is probably one of my favorite productions I've ever worked on. I'll play it through in a little bit. It's already in a like the song is written. You'll see this is all the scratch vocals. Song's written. I would say we're like 85% done with the production on this. So at this point, I am really going to be working on this stream to dial things in, and hopefully I can just bring you guys as much value as I can to show you how I take something that is already really sounding pretty good. I think you guys will agree when I play this. This is already in a really good spot production-wise. But for me, I'm looking at this through the lens of like, how can I just really enhance this whole thing? Okay. So we've been live for almost 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and play this track. Let's go ahead and play this track, and then you guys can hear what we're going to be working with. So for those of you just joining, what I'm going to be working on today is dialing in the rest of this instrumental production. All of the vocals on this are scratch vocals. This is a cinematic pop track. I'm actually working on a cinematic pop record right now. Basically like really heavy hitting, kind of creepy. So this track is actually, this track is really kind of weird. It's not weird. It's kind of creepy. It's from the perspective of the villain. So anyways, we're just going to play it here, play it through, and then we're going to get to work. Do it.
My time has come. My reign's begun. The fire burns inside my soul. The fight is here. It's time to take control. I'll ride through the darkest storm to take my throne. I'm the king of the hill. Have you ever had a king bow down on your knee? Don't you dare look at me. I'll show you just as scared I think you really ought to be. Oh, the blood I spilled, all the men I killed, I'd do it all again. Choose life on bended knee, or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your fate, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive. You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh, you had the chance to live another day, but now you're gonna die. Choose life on bended knee, or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. Choose life on bended knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your fate, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of hell.
All right, so just for clarification, this is not mixed. Like, I literally wrote this song 2 or 3 days ago. So this song is still in producing phase. So for if you have any mixed comments, we're not taking those comments right now. So this is, we're actually going to be hashing out a lot of these transitions in this video. I want the brass to sound a little different. Pretty much getting the rest of this whole instrumental production hashed out so I can cut vocals tomorrow. That is the goal. That is the plan of this video in this whole stream. So some of this that we need to cover is I actually completely restructured this song yesterday. Actually, starting at this point here, I actually just wrote that before doing the live, like, I don't know, maybe an hour ago. This was originally quite different. It actually went back to this original idea. And then I was like, nah, I need to have a little bit of a climax and then bring the dynamic down and stuff. So anyways, I already know like one thing. I'm just at a point now where I'm just going to go to the things that are top of mind and start working on. So this last build here, I'm going to mute out the vocals. We don't need any vocals right now. I know that I want these strings to kind of actually do a little bit of a different thing. I don't want it just hanging onto the chords only. I want it to da, 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 something like that. Yeah. Let's do that then. So, da. I do not want 30-second notes. 16th notes will do. Do do. All right, so kind of got this, and then I almost always pull these forward a little bit, just because you really have to. So. There we go. Probably want that to come up a little bit more dynamically, so we'll increase the modulation on this a little bit. Yeah, it needs to grow a little faster than that. Ah, might be nice to have the right notes. Da, da. What the heck? There we go. I'm gonna need to move this over. There we go. Da, 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 da. I like that. Then the violin too. Da. I need to kind of think this through actually. Da, 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 da. Might not do that actually. Ah, there we go. So I'm gonna hang on to that an extra beat. Oh wait, that's not the notes I thought they were. That was the viola I was thinking about. All right, violin 2. Here we go. So it must be the viola that's doing the D. Yes, it is. Da, da. Ah. And then I need to adjust the modulation on this as well to come up much faster. All right, cool. Yeah, this is in C minor. Yeah, this is that's like a half diminished. It's like a diminished chord. This chord that's happening. I kind of rotate between using a half diminished 2 chord and then also a couple others. So I'm gonna do the same thing in the brass here now. Da, 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 da. Which means I need to bring up the volume a little bit more in this dynamic. Crescendo that a little bit more. A little more. Cool. And then I want to do some staccato stuff in here. Man, the computer struggle is real. This is a very big production, so yeah, there's a lot going on. I just had to double check the chord progression on this. Dun, 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 dun. I do need a 30-second now. Ba 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 ba. Why? There we go. B flat, B flat. Ba ba da ba. Now you don't want these all to be the same velocity or else it's gonna sound a little cheap. So bring these down a little bit. Bring these down a little bit. Da ba da ba. Cool. Okay. That adds some differentiation to the end here. No, I think it needs to go up. Man, this production is really taking a toll. Live streaming and also doing production and having this many sample libraries loaded up. It's a lot. This is a good question. How do you know if you have too many instruments? Yeah, that's kind of that'd be like a longer-ish conversation. I mean, if you think about what I have going on here, it's actually not as much as it sounds. It sounds like there's a lot more going on. So the piano is doing this. Ah, come on. The stutter is killing me. The strings are doing the same thing. Okay, so those are the same. And then you've got the brass doing just chords, which are also the same as what the choir, female choir. Ah, my gosh. And then that trumpet, that's adding that rhythmic drive. And then this low brass hit is our bass. I'm considering adding a little bit more bass just because right now I think there might be a little bit more low end. And then the drums are kind of filling up all the rest of this space. The drums are this. Which I gotta say, I'm really frickin' happy with how these drums sound. I feel like these drums sound very good. Okay. So I need to kind of, Dylan, yeah, so I've got 64 gigabyte of RAM and my computer still struggles at times. And a lot of that I think is because the processor, I'm still on the the Intel chip. So I really need to get an M1 chip. Because yeah, when you start working on productions like this, where it's like cinematic, it's just like, yeah, these productions are rough to do. So I want to kind of move to, so I got that kind of hashed out. I want to kind of play this in context a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty good. I think I need to adjust this, though. Just noticing, I think there was like a little staccato. I don't want that. Need to make sure these key switches are happening at the right time. Oh my gosh. Come now. Come now. Do what I want you to do. Da, 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 da. Move this forward a little bit. That's already moved forward a little bit. Cello. Get the cello. And I gotta move that forward a little bit. There we go. Ah! Where is this coming from? I'm like hearing a stroke of strings that does not sound good. Which one is it? Who is doing this? Not that. Not that. What is going on? What are you doing? Is it the modulation? There we go. Boom. Yes, this is me singing on this. And these are just scratch vocals. We're cutting vocals tomorrow. So, yeah. So, yeah, if you think about, like, the question about layering tracks, it's like, the violin, viola, cello, all this stuff, they're all doing the exact same thing in here, but they're just adding more weight onto that dun 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 dun. Sorry. I'm not probably going to explain reverb in this stream. That's just not what I'm working on right now. There are lots of videos on reverb that you can watch. That's just not what I'm going to cover in this video. This is the bass on this part here. which I think I am gonna add this to the distorted sub. But I am going to sidechain this to my kick because I don't want this to get in the way. Instrument. And this is when you know you have a lot of instruments. Kick, 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 kick. Where's my kick, 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 kick? Hat, butch kick. There we go. Butch kick. Boom. Sounds pretty epic. All right. I want to go to, so I said at the beginning of the stream, I just have like a bunch of random stuff I have to finish hashing out. Some of these transitions in here. First of all, one thing I got to say, I freaking love this section in here at the beginning.
I'm the king of the hill. Have you ever had a king?
This question about which one plugin would it be, I just don't feel like that's a very helpful question, to be honest with you. I've talked about plugins a lot. The number of plugins you have is irrelevant. I would buy sound libraries before buying any effects plugins. Effects plugins are literally useless if you don't have good sounds. So there you go. Sharper, what tips do you have for people who are serious, like have a passion for music, but don't really know where to start? Oh man. Like maybe you could clarify, like, are you talking about like specifically being a producer or what? Because there's like 100 different directions you could go. Yeah, this crack on the audio is killing me. Have I shown how to make the drums in this production? No, and I'm probably not going to be honest with you, because I'm actually working. This is not just to like break down this session. I'm actually trying to get some work done on this because I need to cut vocals on this tomorrow. So I'm showing some stuff, but like I need to kind of actually hash out a couple things still on this before we rock and roll. So this is one of those places we need to hash out, is this transition in here.
To the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive.
Okay, so this whole part in here,
I'm the king of.
I think I want to add this bass drop here.
I'm the king of the.
So I don't know if you guys can hear that. I think the other thing I might do is take this distorted sub here. Crack JDM, am I going to post this track? Yeah, this is going to be a single that will be released.
Dance to bow to the king of the hill.
Oh, that kind of didn't work. Now this might not. We'll have to maybe bounce that. Nah. Nope, that's competing with that. So there's a good example of like how to think about what things are competing. So like this distorted sub that I just added in here, if you listen to this and you listen to this bass drop that I have, these are really competing for that space. So listen to this. Blah. Peter, just as a heads up, we actually are no longer offering the 14-day course. So just Producer Accelerator. If you want to really learn, like actually see everything that I do in a production and actually step-by-step all that stuff, you should just join Producer Accelerator. Just produceracceleratorcourse.com. So we're not going to do that. Okay, so I think I need to get some sort of a hit on this as well. I don't want to recycle this. I'm not an artist, dude. Beanie. So no, I don't work with labels, and I never will. And I highly, highly encourage anyone who is serious about music, do not frickin' sign a record deal. Like, I don't know why people glorify it. Being independent is 1,000 times better than being on a record deal. Anyways, like I have friends who have record deals, and I'm just telling you, yep. Ooh, that's good. We'll try one. I like that one.
To the king of hell. I'm the king. I'm the king of the.
Now, in this case, I will roll off some of this low end because I don't need it to carry that low end. The bass is already doing it. We'll do mellow hit. This is what I'm going to call this.
I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive.
I think I'm going to actually include these riser strings here.
So you thought you.
I think I need to fade that in a little more.
I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive.
What the Jammerman said is 1,000% true. You have literally like 1 to 5% of all signed artists that are literally doing all of the business for labels. 95+% of artists that sign onto a record deal do not recoup the investment. If you sign onto a record deal, it's a glorified, extremely high interest loan. So sometimes find it challenging in creativity, especially on deciding what to add where, sort of spice up the mix. Any ideas? I mean, I have a whole workshop where I go through a lot of this stuff. I have a whole course. That's just kind of a long discussion. And as I've already said, I know a lot of people are just jumping into the stream. I'm actually trying to get some work done on this, and I'm just letting you guys be a fly on the wall. So yeah.
To the king of hell. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive.
I think I'm gonna slow that down.
So you thought you.
Oh, I love it when stuff like that works. I need to kind of manipulate the shape of this a little bit more. No, let's slow that down even more.
Thought you could. So you thought you could.
Gotta adjust that a little bit more.
So you thought you could survive. So you thought you could survive. You.
Course, I'll put the link. ProducerAcceleratorCourse.com. Boom. Check it out. There should be a link for the workshop on the website.
I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive.
I've decided I don't like this anymore. This is like literally my life every single day. It's like, oh, I love that. And then you listen to it again. Like, maybe not. That's okay. I do think this would work to have a little bit of reverb on this. Not a ton. Very mellow. Boom. Craig, good to see you, my friend. I'm going to color this guy. I usually am pretty obsessed with color coding things. This production, I literally have whipped out very, very fast. Let me restate. I'm working with GarageBand. What would be the next step in progression towards improvement? I don't know. I think it just depends on how, like I said, like it just really depends on what you want to do. That's why I was asking that question. If you don't know what you want to do, then I can't really give you like suggestions on what to do, if that makes sense. So I think this is the problem. A lot of people are like, what do I do? And it's like, well, you first have to decide what you want to do, and then we can talk about what to do, because you can't build a strategy if you don't understand where you want to go. You know what I mean? Like, that's like trying to say, I want to go on a vacation. And then it's like, well, where do you want to go? It's like, I don't know. We're just going to start driving somewhere. Like that just does not work. So yeah, boom. I mean, I would say, first of all, like, get a professional DAW.
So you thought you could survive.
Yeah, I would get a professional DAW. Like, get Logic. If you're already using GarageBand, Logic is going to be a very, very good next step. Sorry, I'm like trying to multitask here because like I really, really want to get this all completely done. Okay, so I'm going to do... Let's see if we can't find some risers here to transition into this. Let me do a fast one. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that is really cool. How many live instruments am I using? Just my voice. Nothing else is live on this. Arrow swoosh. Yeah, I think that needs a little bit more. I'm just going to compress this guy. Maybe not that much. You know what? I think this needs to be longer. I'm gonna make this 3 beats. Trace beats.
I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive. You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die.
Oh yeah, I need to add that other scream in there. Where did I put it? Did I hide it? Aha. There it is. Okay, so this is another scream. I'm gonna call this scream dose. Scream 2. Woo, that guy. Oh man. Now you're gonna die. So you thought you could survive.
So you thought you could survive. You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Whoop.
That's where I want that drop.
I
Ah. You know what? I think the other one worked better. Where is it? Hello. Scream 2. Copy that guy.
gonna die. Oh, you had the chance.
Yeah, your DAW does not matter. Just get a DAW you feel comfortable with. If it's Logic, if it's Cubase, if it's Ableton, it literally does not matter. Like, if there's one piece of advice I can give, just straight up, stop caring and stop worrying about, oh, what's the perfect this? What's the perfect that? There's no such thing. Just get stuff and go. Stop worrying about it. Like, make music. Your music is not gonna be it's not gonna make or break your music. Like, the DAW you use is not gonna make or break your music. Okay. I've used Pro Tools. I've used Cubase. I've used Logic. I've done a little bit in Ableton. Logic is what I resonate with the most because I've been using it for the longest, but it literally does not matter. Just get a DAW and make music.
Dance to bow to the king of hell.
Woo.
I'm the king.
Okay, I think I need another cymbal swell here.
Dance to bow to the king of hell.
There we go. Now we're talking. Let me make sure this is lining up. Ah, shoot. Just trying to make sure this is actually lining up on the downbeat, that's all.
Dance to bow to the king of hell. I'm the king of the hill.
That's what I'm talking about.
So you thought you could survive. You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh,
I'm going to redo this scream at some point. I don't want to use the same one. I want it to be different, but... Ooh! Oh, I just had a great idea.
I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die.
If you're looking for a DAW that has good stock instruments, the Native Instruments is probably the... Or no, Logic is probably the one.
Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die.
Ba-da-ba-bum. Gonna die. 1, 2, 3. I want that to be on 4.
Gonna die.
Yeah. Let's get that guy all the way up.
Gonna die.
more. I need more. I need more. 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 More.
Gonna die.
One, two, three. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. Triple drum. Da-ba-da-dum. Bum, 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 bum. This will be like a, I don't know, like a 16th triplet or something. Let's try it. Nope. 32nd triplet. There we go.
Gonna die.
Man, I need that to be more. Okay, I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this guy because I need this to be more. Violin 1 heavy. Okay. Now here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is add some distortion on this guy because I really want this to hit a lot harder. Sound toys. Decapitator. Decapitate. 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 Let's loop this.
Gonna die. Gonna die. Gonna die. Gonna die. Gonna die.
There we go. And then also I think I'm going to add a little bit more reverb on this just to make this guy kind of slap.
Gonna die.
Let's try that.
No, I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh, you had this.
Okay. I'm going to do one other little trick to get this wider. I use thermal. Width. Sides. Make this guy wide. So that string part is like...
Gonna die. Probably gonna die.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh, you had.
Yeah. I like that. Alright, let's kind of back up a little bit. I want to see how we're sounding. Alrighty, let's go to this first drop here.
Have you ever had a king bow down on your knee? Don't you dare look at me, I'll show you just how scared I think you really ought to be. Oh, the blood I spilled, all the men I killed, I do it all again. Choose life on bended knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your face, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive? You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die.
Alright, this is sounding good. So Sharon, how long does it usually take to produce a whole track? Yeah, I think these are great takes for scratch vocals. Hey, appreciate that. I had so much fun doing this. Honestly, this is like one of the most fun tracks I've worked on in a very long time. Sharon's question about how long does it take? It really depends on the style of music. It depends on a whole lot of factors. This song did not exist 2 days ago. I'll just put it that way. And I have not been working on this nonstop. I've had 3 other productions I'm working on alongside this song, as well as also making videos for the YouTube channel. So I would say so far I've maybe put 5-6 hours of work into this production. And so I would just, first of all, like, you need to understand I've been producing for almost 15 years. And so when you start doing it and you actually make a living making music, the amount of output you have to have is significantly more than most people realize. And so I personally think that, like, if you want to do this for a career, you have to be able to pump out multiple tracks per week. And if you can't do that, there's no way you can sustain a career. That's what I've seen. Yes, I think that's the case. Like every producer I know, like me, who does this for a living, we are working on multiple productions at any given time. So I would say on average, I have at least 5 productions I'm working on simultaneously. And when I set aside time, I usually set aside time I set aside dedicated time to work on each production, and usually it's going to be for 2 hours, and I will try to crank out as much as humanly possible. So like this production, I had the entire sketch of the production done in probably about an hour. And then the rest of it's just like filling it out. Yeah. Write the bass of it first. Sharper, watch the video I'm publishing tomorrow. It's literally covering your exact question. I have a video called How to Start Producing a Song from Scratch, and I will literally cover that exact question. I'm not going to go through that in this stream. Yeah. Yeah, like what Jammerman said, like, like I'm performing all these instruments. Everything I'm doing in here is Mr. Producer, Huddy Sabwa. I don't know if that's, like the way to get there is to do it. Exactly. Like stop theorizing. And a lot of people are like, oh, like I want to do this thing, but then they're not actually making music. Get into your DAW. Stop like talking about making music and just go in and actually make music. Like there are so many people I know who are like, I really want to do this. And then it's like, well, what have you done? They're like, well, I haven't really done anything yet. I'm like, well, why? Like you say you want to do this, then get started. Go right now. Stop wasting time. Cool. There was one thing I wanted to change, or not change, but add. I want to add some cello right in here. That. There we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Dance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill.
Okay. Getting some lag, but that is honestly kind of normal. 16th notes.
I'm the king of the hill.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and copy that over. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive. You could try to run and hide.
So like what Peter said, like about piano skills, if there's one skill I would encourage, learn the piano. Like for real, learn chords on piano. I think it is the most valuable skill set that I have. So yeah, I've been producing music for 12 hours a day for almost a year. Complete beginner. How long will it take? I cannot answer that question for you. I don't know. It depends on the quality of your learning, all of that stuff. So like, for me, like I spent probably 4 years teaching myself how to produce early on, from the ages like 14 to 18. And I still was not making professional quality music in those 4 years. But then I actually ended up working at a studio, learning from a producer. And in like 3 months, my productions were like, boom, like so much better. So I'm not saying buy my course. That's not what I'm saying, but learn from a producer. If you want to learn fast, this is the one thing no one wants to hear and is 1 bajillion times true. If you want to learn faster, stop thinking you know everything and go learn from someone who is 10 years ahead of you. The end. The end. If you want to actually learn 10 times faster, learn from someone who is 10 years ahead of you. That's it. That might be an online course. I'm not the only one that has a course. Alex Rome has one. I've got one. Forrest Whitehead has one. Or if you can, actually work with a producer. Learn from one. Intern from one. It doesn't matter. Sit in a room with someone. Like there's a guy here in my town who wants to learn to produce. He's actually pretty good at producing. He's very talented and he wants to make a career of this. So I told him, then come work for me for a bit. Like every week, come do some work for me. So he'll be here tomorrow hanging out in the studio with me, and he's gonna take over a bunch of the editing for me, and I'm gonna pay him for it. Like I'm gonna pay him like $100 to edit my production because I don't want to do it. That's what I did when I got started. I worked under a producer. And then that producer, when I came in, he was like, dude, I'm going to teach you how to edit drums. And then I want you to edit my drums. And guess what? Editing drums freaking sucks. It's not a fun job. And that was what I started with him. And then it just escalated to me being able to actually do more and more and more. So if you really want to learn fast, again, learn from someone who's 10 years ahead of you. That is in my opinion, that is the only way to speed up how you can learn. Like, YouTube videos are great. YouTube videos are awesome. You can learn a lot through YouTube videos. Obviously, I make YouTube videos, but at the end of the day, if you're serious about it, you're going to have to invest into it. Okay. I'm going to make sure that this cello is sounding how I want.
I'm the king of the hill.
You know, honestly, the one thing about this particular library is these notes need to be shorter.
I'm the king of the hill.
I think I just need to need to turn the reverb off on this guy because it is kind of driving me nuts. There it is. Let's turn that off. Ooh, there we go. That's actually sounding quite a bit better. I'm going to mix in this.
I'm the king.
Okay, I'm gonna also duplicate this guy over, and then I'm gonna grab that effect rack, thermal. There we go.
Dance to.
Cello, crunchy.
I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive.
Yeah, the compressor is not at all helping with that. That is entirely the velocities of the MIDI. Okay, I'm gonna kind of just make sure I'm still happy with this.
Dance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive. You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh, you had the chance.
Ellis, don't worry about mixing. Just produce better music. I've made so many videos about this, and I feel like I have to keep nailing it because, look, you go onto YouTube, you're going to see all these mixing tutorials, all this mix. Dude, for real. Just like I feel like I have to get on a pedestal every single time because, like, guys, friends, you want to see this? Look at my production here. Okay, there are hardly any freaking plugins on here. There are hardly any plugins. My drums have no plugins on them. Listen to this. Okay, I don't have compression, I don't have EQ, nothing. That's just how the drums sound, okay? So when people get all worried and concerned about mixing, I'm not even mixing yet, okay? This is not even mixed. This is not mixed and it already sounds awesome. That's your goal. So stop worrying about mixing. Like I would say 95% of home studio producers are trying to learn how to be a better mixing engineer, all the while are producing crap. Like, I hate to say it, and that's super blunt, it's super direct. It's also 1000% true. So many home studio producers are trying to figure out, why is my mix not sounding better? Why is my mix not sounding better? But then it's like, your mix doesn't sound good because your production doesn't sound good. Any professional mixing engineer is going to tell you this, okay? And if you find people who are like, oh, like, I can fix that, that's like a major red flag, okay? All the mixing engineers I've worked with, if I produce something and something isn't working, guess what they do? They say, hey, Nathan, this isn't working. Can you fix this and then send it back to me? That's how it actually works in this industry. Real mixing engineers are not, first of all, real mixing engineers that are actually crushing it are working with producers who are crushing it. And so there's going to be a good relationship between the mixing engineer and the producing engineer, or the producer. And so, like, as a producer, you know, you're going to submit something, you're going to send something to a mixing engineer. And this is, again, talking about this through the lens of you not mixing your own stuff. I do mix my own stuff now, but, you know, there was a period of time where I didn't. And a good mix engineer is going to say, hey, this XYZ thing, we got to adjust this. This isn't quite working. Hey, XYZ thing is competing. Is it cool with you if I mute that? Yes. Okay, cool. And then they're going to basically actually start working on the actual production itself. Like, yeah, Like mixing is yeah, if you want to be a mix engineer, great. Great, do that. If you want to be a mix engineer and that's all you want to do, great. That's not what my channel's for. My channel is not for mixing engineers. My channel is for producers. I am a producer. I focus on producing. That is what I'm good at. That is what I'm best at. And so I'm going to stay in that lane because that's what I think the 99% of producers actually need help with is learning how to be a better producer, not learn how to be a better mix engineer. Okay. Anyway, that's the hill I will die on every single time. I will die on that hill every day because I believe it with all of my heart. I have seen it in my students. We have like 800 students. 800. Okay. I kind of know what I'm talking about. I've heard a lot of maybe I listen to music all day. This is like literally what I do for a living. Anyways, I good. Oh man. Everyone's like, man, Nathan's like getting really heated about that. It's not that I'm heated. It's just like, I'm very passionate about it. So, anyways, yeah, I, don't mean to be preachy, but, there you go. SM Rat. I don't know how you say your channel name. This is, again, I think so much of this is just, you know, experience, right? Like you got to get in, you got to do it. And then as far as like, you know, some of the other things, like analyze your favorite music, dude. Like listen, like actively listen and pay attention, listen to what's happening, and then take and steal those ideas. I don't mean steal them, but I mean steal them as in take the principle of those ideas and then use them.
Dance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill.
Okay, I kind of feel like I want some sort of crazy. I know I have it. Must be a different library. Okay. Damage. I want to get some evil sounding cymbals in here. Metals, cymbal bow. Ooh, sheet metal. Ooh. No, that's not really what I'm looking for. Let's do this in... There we go. All right, now check this out. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Dance to bow to the king of the hill.
Okay, got that. Let's put some reverb on this guy.
Dance to
Okay, and then I'm gonna bounce this to audio. We're gonna call this rev cymbal bounce. Okay, so we got this as audio now, and now what I can do is go in here, cut that guy, grab this, region, reverse, and then what I'm going to do is use this as a natural swell. I'm going to shorten this guy here. Probably want to add a fade. There we go.
bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive? You could try to run and hide.
I think I'm going to add a little bit of reverb on this to kind of smoothen this out. I'm going to mix it very, very gently. Yes.
Bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill.
Okay, this complete control keyboard, but no one uses the plugin. I do use it a lot, but right now, like I know exactly what I'm looking for, and so I'm tending to not use this just because the scroll menu can get a little confusing. I use it a lot for the inspiration initially, though. Yeah, so I bounce that out to turn it into an actual audio track, because then with the audio track, I can do all sorts of other cool manipulations like that, like reversing it, and then that becomes a nice little swell hit. So like a lot of the things I'm working on in this production right now is actually the transitional elements.
Dance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill.
So like this swoosh sound right here, this is cool. Okay. I'm going to add thermal because I just freaking love this. This is like one of the few plugins I will actually just use a lot on, especially on tracks like this. Just all I'm doing is adding width. There we go. Okay, James, what's the emotional arrangement of this production, like project? I guess I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit. Like, I mean, obviously, I mean, this is like, I'm writing this for a cinematic record. It's like a cinematic pop record that will be released. And then like ultimately looking at this specifically, I'm composing for licensing for use in television. So that's why the song is like the way it is. It's that cinematic, hard-hitting cinematic, like Ruel, Tommy Prophet-esque stuff. Okay, so I feel pretty good about this. I want to back up a bit, listen to context somewhat.
I'll ride through the darkest storm to take my throne. I'm the king of the hill. Have you ever had a king bow down on your knee? Don't you dare look at me, I'll show you just as scared I think you really ought to be. Oh, the blood I spilled, all the men I killed, I'd do it all again. Choose life on bended knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you wanna survive. It's time to face your face, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill.
Woo! That's it.
I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive, you could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh, you had the chance to live another day, but now you're gonna die.
Yeah, this is exactly what James just said. This is exactly why mixing should not be your priority. Like, if you are producing the music the way you should be producing, this is how it should sound.
But now you're gonna die. Choose life on bended knee.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Tommy Prophet is my freaking hero. Like, no joke. That's like goals for me, is getting to know Tommy Prophet. Yeah, Tommy is amazing. And Ruel's incredible artist. So Ruel, Flurry, Tommy Prophet, you know, this is a lot of the inspiration that I personally get. Yes, there will be very big vocal production on this. It's going to be really, really good. Really, really big. I think I want to, okay, so what I want to do now is kind of go to this bridge. And that's right here. I'm going to lead into it a little bit. I'm gonna use this other keyboard here. Lars Guitars from Nebraska? Where in Nebraska? I live in Nebraska. I don't know if you knew that. Fun fact.
Dance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill.
Doggone it. I don't know what just happened. My keyboard just like... Oh. Yeah, this sample library... Oh, man. One and two and three and four. Nice. I lived in Lincoln for like 7 years. Jeez, what is going on with my mic? Check one, check. Ah, yeah, that's not good.
My time has come.
Check one.
My reigns.
I wonder if I have something else open. Okay, I think that might have fixed it. Just want to make sure I don't have anything else open that might be causing any problems here. Just closing everything else out that I have open. Okay. I think I actually use the same rhythm here, so just to keep it simple, here's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, there comes a point in time where, I mean, like, so first, I'm like looking at getting a Mac Studio because, yeah, the libraries that I'm using, they require a huge amount of, they require a very large amount of resources. And even with, I mean, I have a very tricked out computer. Dun 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 dun. There we go. It's also because I'm on this track. These brass libraries also just take up a huge, they're just very, very, very hard on, yeah, really hard on it. There we go. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm kind of thinking I want to do something different percussion-wise. I don't really want to just have all the same thing. I could freeze tracks. I just don't want to because I'm still working on it. Just going to save this because I definitely don't want... That piano, let's see, what is that? It's Noir, Native Instruments. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to kind of rethink a lot of the drums on this because I kind of want to contrast this whole thing. Yeah, I think I want to redo the drums on this. This is not a stock piano sound. No, that's Noir. Pretty much everything you're hearing on this is native instruments and output. All right, rhythmic suites, loops. I'm gonna go with some of the organic elements here. Native land, yeah. I mean, like, I don't think you're gonna find anyone who's more of a native instruments lover than me. Yes, and this is why. King of the hill, I'm the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. King, I'm the king of the hill. King, I'm a king of the hill. I'm a king, I'm a... Nathan, native instruments shill confirmed. The funny thing is, I've been a native instruments advocate for well over a decade. Native Instruments was there were only two companies, that I have actually reached out to. Every other company I have a relationship with, they've reached out to me, and like I only work with a very, very, very small number of companies because I don't need to work with them because I run my own business. I don't need sponsors. Which, by the way, Native Instruments has never paid me. I've never taken money from them. I've never taken money from Loughton Audio, which is the microphone company that I reached out to because I love Loughton. I reached out to Native Instruments when I had 10,000 subscribers, and so in my mind, I'm like, I had this audience and I'm like, I'm really small still, so I understand whatever, that if you don't want to work with me. And this was because it was like 2 years ago, and they were like, oh dude, like we love your stuff. And I was like, what? And then anyway, and now I have this incredible relationship with Native Instruments, and I honestly, like, I'm so thankful to them. I love Native Instruments. I've literally been the biggest fanboy of theirs well before I ever worked with them. So yeah, I'm honestly, I love it. Like I have their S88 keyboard. They sent that to me, the keyboard on my desk. I know you can't see it, but it's the little 32 key keyboard. Anyways, yeah. Jammerman, they should probably pay me at this point. That's pretty funny. I just honestly, I've had companies offer me money, and I just say no because I'd rather work with them because I'm interested in working with them. And we have affiliate deals, like I have an affiliate deal. So like if people buy stuff, that I recommend, then I make money from that. It's just I'm not taking sponsor deals. I like that. Okay, that's pretty freaking cool. I am going to kind of roll off some of the lows on this because I just don't need them and I don't want them to be taking up space. Damage, low hits, duplicate that guy. And I'm going to find another one that is going to be different. And I don't only use Native Instruments stuff either. There are plenty of other libraries that I love. Hammers and Waves, they've got some really great stuff. I've actually become, Hammers and Waves, I love their instruments. Woo! Yeah, I like that. Scrap that. That's cool. I just want to hear this in context now. Okay, now that I did this, it's making me rethink this kind of trumpet thing. I think I might actually just drop this down an octave. I just don't feel like it needs to have quite as much energy. And I also think this full brass section needs to be a little bit different. Yeah, that's cool. James, my opinion on Spitfire BBC Discover. I personally don't think it's super usable for... It would be usable for stuff that's like tucked in. Like what I mean by that is like if you have just some like really simple stuff. But the moment you want to get into like really upfront strings or upfront brass where it's like playing a very significant role, like in this production, I could not... I personally would not find it very useful. I have it, but I don't use it. In fact, I don't even think it's installed on this computer. I got this computer not crazy long ago, maybe 6 months ago. I upgraded this computer, which apparently was a mistake. I should have just gotten the M1 chip, but I didn't. The Native Instrument stuff at that time was not compatible, but maybe actually it's no longer than 6 months ago. It's got to be more like 10 months ago. Anyways, what was I going to say? I haven't even installed the BBC Discover just because I pretty much never use it. Like I just don't have a reason to use it because I already have really great sounding strings with the Native Instrument stuff. However, I am thinking I'm going to probably get some more string libraries just because, like, I don't know, especially for someone like me, where if you are really doing a lot of orchestral stuff, yeah, you can never have too many options. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, making that kind of track on a live stream isn't a joke. Yeah, no, thanks. I'm going to take these trumpets and then I'm going to do some horns with that same rhythm. Brass ensemble, trumpets, horns, and I'm just going to go straight with staccato because I don't need them. I don't need any other. Okay, I think I know the progression. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this down, and then we're gonna just go ahead and change the notes because I don't need the bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Ah, no. Dum bum. Okay, there we go. And I am gonna go ahead and make some chords. So this is an A flat major. So we're gonna go A flat major. This is an F minor. Oh wait, no. Shoot. This is an F minor chord. Bum ba da bum 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 bum. Come on. B. Okay. Now the thing I noticed about these horns in particular, in my opinion, the Native Instruments horns, like French horns, are not the best. The best French horns I've ever... The best horns that I've ever heard were the East-West Quantum Leap horns. The problem is the East-West stuff just takes up like even if you have a really tricked out system, it's just, oh my gosh, dude. It really, really is a strain on it. There we go. Oh gosh. Oh man. I love that so much. That sounds great. Okay, I want to kind of hear this without vocals.
Dance to
Oh yeah. Free horns that I'd recommend. No. I hate saying it, but whenever people are asking for free sample libraries for like brass, woodwinds, strings, there's pretty much you have to pay for it. I hate saying that. I wish that there were a lot of good free options, but if you want really good sample libraries, yeah, they're not free. Sorry to say that. Now that I'm playing this snare loop is kind of not what I'm looking for, but I have an idea, and that is I'm going to bounce this down to audio and then manipulate it. Okay, so now that I got this, yeah, I don't want that guy right there. Get that junk out of there. Don't want that guy there either. Okay, I think I might actually just cut this up a little bit more. You know what? Actually, I just like that, honestly. Let's put a fade there. No, okay, that's still not. What's going on? That's the one. I'm gonna just cut that guy. It's this hit right here. I'd rather have that not happen there. I want it right there. There we go. Yeah, never be afraid to chop things up. There we go. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the BBC stuff is good. It's just, it's good if you tuck it in. It's not good up front and center. If you want up front and center stuff, it's, in my opinion, that's my opinion. You can disagree with my opinion. All right, snare. My snares are always orange. That's just kind of how I color code things personally. Boom, move you up. Yeah, I'm gonna frickin' smack this guy. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, if you're using, like I said, if you're using more of like just sustained patches and stuff, those are the easiest ones. Sustain is by far the easiest thing to make sound good with strings, or really any orchestral thing. Sustained patches are by far the easiest thing to get. So, okay, you want to kind of back up here.
Choose life on bended knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you wanna survive. It's time to face your face, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of hell. I'm the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. King of the hill. I'm the king of the hill.
Daggum, that sounds fan-frickin-tastic. I love that. I love the change up in rhythm. I love the change up in just dynamic. It's like bigger, but in a different kind of a way. Do I use a gate on my drums? You really do not need to be using gate on drums unless you are working with an actual live kit. If you're not working with a live kit, it doesn't make sense usually. No. I don't think I've ever used a gate on MIDI drums ever. So yeah. Is there a benefit of balancing the whole track as opposed to just the region? I don't know. That's just what I did. I don't know. I don't I guess I've never really thought about it. Thick. That's pretty funny. I like my drums big. I like the big drums. I don't know if I need this kicks though. I just gotta say, I love this piano part here. And the diminished chord. Here we go. Hot dog. All right, here's the deal, guys. I've had a lot of coffee. I gotta pee. So I'm gonna play this from the top for you. I'm gonna go pee. Enjoy. My time has come. My reign's begun. The fire burns inside my soul. The fight is here, it's time to take control. I'll ride through the darkest storm to take my throne. I'm the king of the hill. Have you ever had a king bow down on your knee? Don't you dare look at me, I'll show you just as scared I think you really ought to be. Oh, the blood I spilled, all the men I killed, I'd do it all again. Choose life from bending knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your fate, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive? You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh, you had the chance to live another day, but now you're gonna die. Choose life from bending knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your fate, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. Choose life from bending knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your fate, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill. Oh, there we go. So that's, you know. I'm telling you, this song was so much fun to do. This song was so much fun to do. I still, you know, I got to cut vocals on it, which now that I'm looking at the clock, I'm like, shoot, I might be able to cut those today, actually. Might do it this afternoon. I need to get things turned way down. This is very loud. For cutting vocals, it's better to have things a little more on the soft side. Justin, when there's multiple vocal layers, what do you use to time a line? Vocaline, I use Vocaline. If you don't have Vocaline, you can do it manually. I actually have a whole video on this. Yeah, I have a whole video on how to edit vocals. I also have the video on Vocaline too. So if you want to check that out, I literally have a video. Yeah, so this track was fun. So like I think I said this, I'll kind of break down some of this for you guys now that I feel like I've got a better, like I did the things I wanted to do. What things do you want me to go through? Is there anything that you guys want me to go through? There you go. Let's do that. I would be happy to kind of go through this drop here. Like we could do that. If there's anything else you guys want me to show, solo things out. I feel like now that I've kind of gotten the things done that I want to get done on the stream, happy to just take questions specifically about this production. Please don't ask me what my favorite plugins are. Like literally, I get that question 500 times a day. So yeah. Yeah. Now, if you want to talk about sample libraries, we can talk about sample libraries all day. I love sample libraries. I'm a sample library junkie. That's a thing. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions you guys have for me? I'd be happy to go through those. While you guys are doing that, I want to go through this because this is something I'm pretty freaking happy about. So this whole drop here where things just go nuts. Okay, there we go. We got a question. So here's the question. I'll add it to the broadcast. How do you come up with drum patterns? This is a great question. I wish there was just like a really easy answer to it. First of all, I do play drums. That helps considerably. So if we're gonna like go through, let's go to verse 2.
So you thought you could survive? You could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find.
So I'll just play this without vocals and without drums. Boom, boom, ka, da, boom, ka, da, boom, boom, ka, da, boom, ka, boom, 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 ka. So like the biggest thing is kick and snare. Kick and snare are the most important thing. So that's usually where I start. So I'm going to think through this whole thing. So, you know, like we could come up with a lot of different patterns, but you know, the grand scheme of thing, like I want this to kind of this boom, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, 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 ka, boom, ka. So I'm actually thinking through this like in my head. Like I'm not going straight to like the keyboard. I'm not going straight to like all this stuff. I'm actually thinking through like, okay, like what kind of vibe do I want this to have? Like obviously it would be weird if it was like boom, boom, ka, da, boom, ka. That'd be just super weird, right? Like, because that doesn't fit the character or the vibe of this whole thing. So like for me, I went with more of that boom, ka, da boom, ka, boom, right? And so I'm thinking kick and snare. So we got the kick and snare here. Let's put those in. I mean, finding sounds is another thing, but I'll just loop this here. Okay, so we've got that. And then the next thing I was thinking through is hi-hats, which is this. Which these are more natural sounding hi-hats. I do have some kind of like trappy hi-hats in the chorus, but I wanted this to have more of a natural kind of feeling. And then these hi-hats are just... So... what level am I hitting the stereo without? Oh, I don't know, maybe like -3 or something like that. I'm not too concerned about it right now, to be completely honest with you. Like when I'm producing, if I'm clipping, it's not the end of the world, like as long as no individual track is clipping. So it's really important with these hi-hats that they are very natural sounding. So you can look at the velocities. They're kind of, I mean, this is a very natural sounding, you know, velocity. So no, all these sounds are pretty much from native instruments. So yeah. And then on top of this, I have these damaged sticks. Okay, and those are just like stick hits, right? And so that's what I'm trying to do with the hi-hats. Right, they're kind of blending in with that. And then I've got this damage loop, which this is just to kind of fill in the space. Like that's literally, it's literally there to like just fill up a little bit of ambiance and like give this kind of crunchy feeling. And like think about the character of the song. The song is kind of creepy. Like it's a creepy song. The lyrics are freaky, right? It's about a villain. So it needs to have this kind of The other thing I did is I used a clock for drums as well. So you can hear. So I used a clock, and then that mixed in with everything else. And that's pretty much it. No, I don't really use I don't use mosaic keys. I don't have mosaic keys. Any tips for time aligning loops with other MIDI and instruments in a project? I mean, like all the loops I'm using are like, I'm not like going to like a sample pack to use loops. So all the loops that I'm using are essentially already going to be time aligned. And so I'm not having to mess around with that because I personally don't want to mess around with that. And then the only things that are happening in terms of like keyboards and stuff like that, it's literally three things. It's this. Ready for this? This is how simple this production really is. This production sounds 10 times bigger than it kind of actually is. So like a lot of people are probably like, oh, Nathan, there must be like a bajillion layers in this. And yes, we have 70 tracks. But like most of these tracks are, if you look at this, not sounding at all during the majority of it, right? So at any given time, there's really not as much happening as you might think. So this is the instrumental in the verse. So yeah, that is it. So I've got this piano part here. Yeah, that's it. And then this is kind of, this is from output, I believe. This is analog strings. The analog brass and winds. So it's like an ARP. Oh, I love it. Sounds great. And then I used another instance of analog brass. This one has a little bit of distortion on it. Also notice you got that tick, 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 tick. One of the reasons I was attracted to that sound is because I already have this, the clock. So it's basically subdividing the clock. Okay? And then vocals. And then the only other thing we have a little later on is these strings. Uh-oh. Need to get that adjusted. Here we go. There we go. Peter, noticed there were a lot of metallic clanging sounds at the beginning. Yeah, so like in the beginning here, I think you're probably talking about that first drop. Okay, so yeah, so to kind of break this down, I've got this. So that's metallic. We've got this riser hit. You've got this metallic hit. This one. I've got a brass hit. Got this. This is really cool. This is That's just, yeah. So all this is pretty much damage. Like most of those hits, like all of these hits here are damaged. I've got this screaming kind of brass thing. This is from output. I have this bass drop. This is from Substance, which is an output instrument. So then that's kind of layered in with everything else. So this is like a 4-bar like transition, like 4 bars of this. And so you can't, like, you'll notice that like I'm not using the same hits for 4 bars. It's all different. I'm using different elements and different things because otherwise it's going to sound like too much the same. So you can see there's a riser right here. So this one right here, there's a riser right here. There's another riser. I have 3 different risers I'm using. I've got this clock thing going on. I've got this riser here. I've got a bass hit here, hit, 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 hit. I'm not using that. Hit. This is a drop, another little hit thing screaming up. This right here is another hit thing, another bass thing, a siren, a riser. It's a lot of stuff. And so like if you're trying to accomplish this, yeah. Any libraries I recommend for under 100? Honestly, I have no idea how much libraries cost. I haven't like been in the purchasing frame of mind in a long time. Halvard, dude, just reach out to Native Instruments. I'm not gonna be technical support. Like, I don't mean that at all in an offensive way. I just think that there are better ways to get help than asking me on a stream. That's another one of the things. And then I took the same thing, and originally I just had it duplicated like over here, but I was like, it's just too much the same. So then what I did is I just pitch shifted it down an octave, and listen to this. And all of a sudden it sounds like quite a bit different. And then that way it just helps this whole thing feel a little better. This right here is a air horn, like a siren that I slowed down or sped up. Boom. All together. I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, this thing's sick. This like analog strings riser. I did this and then I contorted the crap out of it. Yeah, that thing is freaking crazy. The clock, I actually slowed the clock down. Yeah. And then, like I said, all these risers, I've got these strings to this dun 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 dun. Actually, I need to move these down. I need to move those down. Yeah. Boom. So then, and just again, in the context of the whole thing. And that is how I built that whole thing. So there you go. Best sub deep bass, I don't know. I mean, I get sub basses from all over. Alchemy is good. Substance is good. Super 8, I don't know. There's literally any synth that's going to have good sub basses. It's just a sine wave. The question is, did I pick all the sounds while the beat was playing? No. I mean, I literally just built this whole thing out. I don't know. Like just I don't know, just built it out. I have choir in the track already. There's choir. So yeah, I have choir in the track. Stuff sounds amazing. Do I mix on headphones or monitors? Yeah, I'm using I think I'm using the M40X audio technique. I mix on headphones sometimes. I try to do it on monitors, but I have little kids and my kids are right above me, so I do both. I mix on headphones sometimes, and sometimes I mix on monitors. If I'm mixing on monitors, I do use Oh shoot, I'm like completely blanking on the name of it now. Why am I blanking on the name of it? I use SonarWorks. That's what I use SonarWorks when I mix. Yeah. Something else I think that's worth mentioning is you'll notice I have 3 different instances of pianos. I think a lot of people think that they just have to use like the same piano sounds through the whole track, and this is not true. I have a soft noir piano, another soft noir, and then I also have this pure noir. So I have 3 different piano sounds that I'm using. So this first one is the introduction. Is this? Right? Very spacey. Okay. The second one I'm using is this other soft noir, and this one is processed slightly differently. So this one just has less low end because I didn't need the low end. And then I've got this pure noir, which is a brighter. Yeah. Yes, this track will be on Spotify eventually. I don't have a release date for you. I literally just wrote this song this week, so I don't I don't know when I will be releasing this. Cool. Every time I switch in piano sounds, it doesn't sound natural, but sounds so good. Oh, well, I mean, I think it just has everything to do with the context of the track, right? Like, I'm not using it in the same section, right? Like this section, the first section of the song,
My time has come.
you know, it really makes sense to have this very soft kind of spatial thing. And then once we get into here, yeah, and then you think about the chorus. You know, it's a lot more attack. And so I wanted the piano to have that attack. Like if I was using the soft piano, it just would not sound as good. No, I don't use Keyscape. I don't. I've heard really good things. I've seen demos of it, and yeah. The live will be recorded. You guys can always go back and rewatch the live, don't worry. How do I determine how I want the structure of the track to be? This is a good question. This track follows a relatively irregular structure because the start of this, we'll call this like verse A, is almost not even a verse. I really think this starting point is like the precursor to it. I wrote this song a lot more like I would imagine doing film scoring, right? Yes, the M1 MacBook is good for production. The thought process behind this song was less following a traditional structure of like verse, chorus, whatever. I've got this whole introductory thing, which is setting the scene, right? And then I've got this crazy drop, which is like, oh, you thought it was one thing, but it's actually different. And then this is the real verse, the next moment in here. And then we go to chorus, and then we go to verse, and then we go to chorus, and we do a bridge, and then we do a chorus, which then it starts following a little bit more of a typical song structure. But I actually wanted it to start I wanted people to think this is a song about a hero first, and then basically tricking you into realizing, oh crap, this is actually the villain. So listen to this first part of this and think about the lyrics, and think about if you didn't know that this song was from the perspective of the villain, you'd be thinking this is a hero song.
My time has come. My reign's begun.
So if you're listening for the first time,
The fire burns inside my soul. The fight is here. It's time to take control.
sounds like a hero.
I'll ride through the darkest storm to take my throne.
And this is the moment on that chord, and then all of a sudden the clock happens, and then this lyric happens, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is not a hero.
I'm the king of the hill. Have you ever had a king?
Boom. And then it goes into that creepy, thing. So at the end of the day, like the song structure for music like this, that's a little bit more in the cinematic vein, is not necessarily going to follow the same, structure as, like a pop song, for example. And this is the kind of music I prefer personally. Like I definitely prefer writing like this kind of music as opposed to like pop songs. Like I do pop music, like I make a lot of pop tracks, but like this is definitely like what I enjoy a lot more. Yeah. And then, I go from this single vocal to now it's 3 vocals, one in the middle, and then they're panned. There's more distortion on these vocals. No, I just realized like I don't have auto-tune on that. That's funny. That actually sounded pretty good without tuning. So this question about when working vocals, do you mix each individually or mix bus them? So first of all, this is not a mixed production. This is still like rough. But I'm going to usually EQ and compress, the vocals on their own. And then I'm also going to bus process. So like reverbs and delays and stuff are all going to be through buses. The question is, how long will you take to choose the sound? Not long. I know people are like joining the stream at random times and stuff, but I just produced this. Like I started working on this 2 days ago. So, this was, I work very fast. And it's just a part of I know a lot of people like blown away, like, oh my gosh, like, how do you work so fast? It's like, well, because this is my job. Like, this is literally my career. And so when you're doing this every single day and this is your career, you have to be able to put out very fast. Pop is hard. I don't know. I personally think this kind of music is probably harder to produce than pop, in my opinion. What drum sample libraries do you use for orchestral music other than Damage? I don't know. Damage is definitely the big one. I use Damage a lot. Action Strikes is good. I like Evolve 2, Evolve Mutations is good. What else? Battery 4 has a bunch of stuff. How do you get inspired from other, like how? I have producers. Tommy Prophet is definitely a huge one. I love Tommy Prophet. This isn't a producer, but the artist, Ruel, incredibly inspired by Ruel. Flurry is another one. Unsecret is incredible. Who are some other ones? Like Zed, I think Zed has some incredible music. I'm not going to be following the same kind of sound choice and stuff like that, because obviously he's more EDM and I don't really do EDM. So what are your thoughts on using the live drummers on Logic? I don't think they're very usable. Like I will say this, I don't know anyone who is actually like producing real records using like Logic stock drum sounds. I'm not saying never, maybe not never, but it's extraordinarily rare. I really, drum production is one of those things where if you don't nail your drum production, it can literally just like completely destroy the entire thing. The string liars, yeah, Avicii's pretty good. I'm not like a huge fan. So the string libraries, I'm just using the string ensemble, the symphony series from Native Instruments. That's where all my strings are on this particular track. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of other examples of, lately I've been really obsessed with Tommy Prophet stuff. And what's funny is I discovered Tommy Prophet well after I was, I've been producing this kind of music for a long time. I've been doing like this hard hitting cinematic pop stuff for a while. And I had not even heard of Tommy Prophet until I started listening to NF. So yeah, that was like really like, oh my gosh, like this guy's music is like the kind of music I'm making. And then I found out like Tommy Prophet's the producer, and then I really started looking into Tommy Prophet's actual. He has a lot of original music as well. And since then, I've just been like, holy crap, Tommy Prophet is like who I want to be when I grow up. So like, yeah, just I have my idols. I wouldn't say idols, just people I respect and like really look up to. At the same time, like I'm not trying to make my career the same as these people. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm happy with the life that I have. I'm happy with the thing that I've built. Like I'm obviously still pursuing things. I'm still working on my career. Like my career is, like, I personally like believe my career is still in the very early stages. And I know that a lot of people who are maybe like behind me would probably be like, oh, like, what are you talking about? Like, you have 130,000 subscribers on YouTube, and like, you're getting like millions of views and all this stuff. Like, you've already kind of made it, but like, I don't really see it that way. I don't know if there's really such a thing as like, quote unquote, making it. Yes, I've made this into a career. Yes, I get to do this for a living. Yes, this is how I put food on the table and how I pay my bills. And that's awesome. But at the same time, I do still feel like I'm pretty early on in my journey, and I still feel like I have a really significant amount of music still left to make. And, yeah, so I don't know. I really feel like I'm early in my career. Like, there are even like new opportunities that are kind of like budding right now I can't talk about, that are going to be really game changing for me personally, like in my own development as a musician, as a composer, as a producer, that hopefully, I can talk about, in the upcoming months. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like I'm really happy with what I get to do. I'm really happy with the lifestyle that I have. If you're asking how old I'm 28, so I'm young. I still got a lot of years. Still got a lot of years left, as this question about Hackintosh and Mac, I have no idea. I don't know everything. But yeah, if there's one thing I could say though, it's just, making content has been game changing. And, if you want to build a career, make content. I think that's the one thing. I don't live in Nashville. I don't live in LA. I live in the Midwest. I do not live in a place where music is the norm. I am the only person that I know where I live who does this for a job. And so just because you might not live somewhere that you think you have to live, you don't have to live in Nashville. You don't have to live in LA. You don't have to be like sitting in collaboration rooms with people. You don't have to be doing that. Like, if you have something valuable, if you're making great music, if you are creating great art, this question about cracking plugins, don't do it. Like, do you want people stealing from you? Don't steal. Like, I feel like that should be pretty obvious. Like, I don't want to be mean, but like, that's wrong. The other thing is too, is if you crack plugins and then you make a song that actually performs well, and then it comes out that you actually stole those, not a good look. Especially if you ever want to have a relationship with the companies that you stole those plugins from. Not a good look. That's a really great way of destroying your credibility. Like, if it came out that I actually stole a bunch of stuff from Native Instruments, and then simultaneously I want to work with Native Instruments, you think they're going to want to work with me? Abso-frickin-lutely not. Yeah. Just spend the money. Like, if you're serious about this, then spend the money. Like, buy it. Do it the right way. I use a MacBook Pro, 64 gig of RAM. It's an i9. It's pretty much the most tricked out MacBook Pro you can get, except for the M1 chip. That was the one thing I kind of am upset about. If I would have waited 3 more months, I would have gotten the M1, but I would get the M1 chip at this point. And I'm actually looking at getting a Mac Studio, in which case I would probably get the M1 Ultra. And then I would keep the laptop, because I still travel, and I want to be able to work when I travel, because I have a mobile setup. So yeah, I mean, I started doing this professionally when I was 19. So like, I started making money from music when I was 19. So it's been almost 10 years. There's about a 2-year gap in there where I just took a break. I was so mentally tapped out, and I had to take a break. That's a whole other story, but yeah, it's never too late though. You being 37, dude, tell you what, there are plenty of people in their 40s and 50s who are doing it, man. Like, so, age does not matter one bit. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to play this one more time through top to bottom, and then I'm going to go because I'm hungry and I need to eat some lunch. And then I've got some other productions I got to work on, and I'm going to end the live stream. So we're going to listen to this again, and then we're going to sign off. Thanks for hanging out, guys. This has been super fun. Like, I love doing these streams. And I'm going to start doing them every week, I think. I'm going to try to start doing these like every Thursday. So same time is kind of what I'm thinking. But let's take a listen again.
My time has come. My reign's begun. The fire burns inside my soul. The fight is here, it's time to take control. I'll ride through the darkest storm to take my throne. I'm the king of the hill. Have you ever had a king bow down on your knee? Don't you dare look at me, I'll show you just as good I think you really ought to be. Oh, the blood I spilled, all the men I killed, I'd do it all again. Choose life on bended knee or death by the sword. You only have a choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your face, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. So you thought you could survive, you could try to run and hide. Nice try, you know I'm gonna find you and you're probably gonna die. Oh, you had the chance to live another day, but now you're gonna die. Choose life on bended knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your face, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the king of the hill. I'm the king of the hill. Choose life on bended knee or death by the sword. You only have one choice if you want to survive. It's time to face your face, so choose life or death. You only have one chance to bow to the king of the hill.
Alrighty, there you guys go. That's the song. Boom shakalaka. This question about where to start. You're 15 years old. So first of all, you're still really young. Like, just take a deep breath. Like when I was your age, I was like, I don't know. I think I actually was thinking about this just yesterday. A lot of people want overnight success. Like, I'm just telling you, man, like so many people are like, I just want to be successful right now. And I don't want to be a downer, but that never happens. It almost never happens. Okay. And that's the one thing no one wants to hear. No one wants to hear this, but it is a bajillion times true. I'm answering your question right now. I'm getting there. I'm literally answering your question right now. Here's the thing. Everyone wants to be famous now. Everyone wants to be successful now. Everyone wants it now. I want to be a professional now. I want to be the best now. And that's not how life works. Give it years. Stop thinking days and weeks and months and start thinking years. Where do I want to be in 5 years? Okay, I started this YouTube channel. Ready for it? I started this YouTube channel 6 years ago. 6 freaking years ago. I did not cross 1,000 subscribers until 2020, 2 years ago. That means 4 years of having this channel, of not even having 1,000 subscribers. And guess what? I didn't quit. Kept going. Kept making videos. And here we are, going from 1,000 to 100,000 in about 18 months. Now we're at like 130,000, getting almost, 500,000 views a month. That is because I put in years and years of work and effort. So the question of how to get started, what libraries do you need to get started? 1, you do not need to go out and spend a fortune. Get good with the things that you already have access to first. Okay, before going out and spending an arm and a leg on sample libraries and effects plugins and this and that, get comfortable with your DAW. So if you're using Logic or Cubase, or it literally does not matter, start with a DAW and get freaking good at using that DAW. Just get really comfortable with it. Make music. And guess what? Your first songs are going to suck. Again, no one wants to hear this, but it's also the truth. Your first songs are going to suck. My songs sucked for years. Okay? But if you really love doing it, then do it. You're going to get better. But you get better through exercising that muscle. You get better through exercising your creativity here. So, you need to think about it through the lens of use what you have first, okay? And as you get better, start investing. I think Native Instruments has the best bundles, personally. They're not cheap, but I do think they're the best bundles. And that's mostly what I use. Most of these sounds in here are Native Instruments and output. That's it, okay? So I spent maybe $2,000 on libraries, for this. But that's over the course of, 15 years of making music. Okay. So yes, I've invested money, but this is my job. This is my career. If you want something to be a career, you're going to have to invest into it. You're going to have to put money into it. A lot of people want to do things with no pain, with no risk, with no nothing, and that's just not how life works. Yeah. I could go off on that for a lot longer, but as far as just what sample libraries, go get the free stuff. Spitfire Labs is free. The BBC Discovery Orchestra is free. Where you could learn film and TV music. I mean, I just think, find film composers that make music and listen to their music and then try to replicate that. Try to just create music that sounds similar to that and exercise that muscle again. And at the beginning, it's going to be rough. It just is. And so I think at the beginning, you just have to be okay with that. And I know so many people are not okay with that. You don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money at the beginning, like I said. But I think eventually, if you want to turn this into a career, you're going to need some stuff. I'm not saying a lot. You don't need to have a fancy studio. I have multiple friends who are making very good careers in very, very humble little studios with relatively inexpensive equipment. But if you want to do film music and television and stuff like that, you will need sounds. You're going to need access to sounds. That's the one thing that I would spend money. I have a course. I have Producer Accelerator. It's not a film specific thing. It's not for film and TV specifically, but it will definitely help you with the producing skill set. But if you're just getting started, I'm not telling you don't buy my course, because I think my course would help you a lot. But the bottom line is you have to be making music. You need spending more time in the DAW doing what I'm doing here today, making music, than thinking about it, than talking about it, than dreaming about it. A lot of people have big dreams, big vision, big goal, all this stuff. And it's so easy to talk about all the things you're going to do. And you know what the truth is? The truth is that talk is cheap, right? Anyone can run their mouth about how much they love music and how good they are at music and all of this stuff. But very few people actually can do it. So if you want to do it, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Put your head down and work for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. And again, it's the one thing no one wants to hear, right? It's one thing no one wants to hear. That it's going to take years. It doesn't take months. It takes years. Okay. And don't believe anyone who's like, oh, like if you do this little EQ trick, it's going to change your whole life. Bull crap. Absolute bull crap. So yeah. Anyways, I know I get ranty and preachy on this stuff, but I do it because unfortunately, there is a lot of garbage out there. Unfortunately, there's a lot of trash out there that make people believe a bunch of garbage. So yeah. I do have a course called Producer Accelerator. If you want to check it out, you can go to my YouTube channel. I've got a link for it. I'll drop a link in here as well. And look, I literally care way more deeply about people actually becoming better at music than people just buying my course. Like my course is for people who are serious. Okay. So like, yeah. Justin, yes, Nashville is cutthroat. I don't live in Nashville. I don't have any interest in living in Nashville because honestly, look, here's the thing too. And again, I'm going to need to get going here in a little bit because I do have a lot more work I need to do today. A lot of people want to move to Nashville and build relationships. I need to network. And I don't know, man, that's not the world of music today. The industry is a lot different today than it ever was. You know what matters way more than moving to Nashville or moving to LA to build relationships? And by the way, I'm not knocking you for moving to Nashville because obviously you're going to be around top tier talent. But even with living in Nashville, you should be making content. Content. Build a TikTok audience, build an Instagram audience, build a YouTube audience. It doesn't matter. Like make content, put yourself out there. That is going to build more opportunity for you than just like networking with people in Nashville. Networking is great. And if you can find yourself in the room with the right people, that's fantastic. But yeah, it is cutthroat. And there are a lot of people who the only question on their mind is, what can I get from you? 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 That's not a very good place to be. Instead of, hey, I just want to work with you because I love your music. That's why I like content. That's why I love what I've been able to build, because it allows people to look at the music that I'm making and they're like, dang, I love that and I want to work with you. And it's a lot more about the music I'm making and the personality that I have and the type of person that I am that attracts the people that I want to work with. And I've gone through this progression in my own career where I was producing artists and I don't do that anymore because I don't have an interest in doing that. I want to build content. I want to make my own music. I'm more interested in making music for commercials and stuff like that, which is where I'm heading. And I'm more interested in doing stuff like that, like composing my own music. I'm not interested in making music for artists. I don't want to be an artist. I'm a music producer. I'm a composer. I want to be sitting here in my studio 12 hours a day making music. That's what I want to be doing. And that's what I get to do. Like, and not that much. Like, I mean, I have to make videos and like I run a business and we have the program and we take care of our students. And so there's a whole lot of stuff I'm doing. I'm very busy all the time. But, the grand scheme of things, if you're wanting to get ahead in your career, the best advice I could possibly give literally anyone is make content. Make content. Make content. TikTok right now is where it's at. Like TikTok is hot. We just started posting videos on TikTok like 3 to 4 weeks ago, crossed 1,000 followers like that. And guess what? Most of these people that watch me on TikTok have no idea I even have a YouTube channel. So we're reaching new people. So anyway, we're going to hop off the stream. I said I was going to hop off the stream like quite a while ago. So we're going to end it. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. We will see you in the next one. I've got a video going up tomorrow, and I will probably be live streaming Thursday next week again. See ya.